Good evening and welcome. Today's episode is all about extending grace to yourself, especially when things are not going as planned and when you are not moving at the speed that you are used to moving. And so, this conversation is really one that is by me, for me, and I hope that you will find some nuggets in here for yourself as I am beginning to transition from the US to Thailand. I have about 35 days before I need to be on a plane and actually moving. And I am just moving slow. I am partly moving slow because it's summer and I'm in summer mode. I'm also moving slow because a little tired. I can be honest and say that it's been a long work year. And I think I'm also still dealing with the excitement of it and also the weariness of it. And so, before I get fully into this conversation, let me introduce you to the channel. Welcome to Not All the Things. This is a space for mature women of color where we discuss work life balance and trying to get at some work life balance, which is what I'm doing right now, wellness and wine. You know, I always have some wine. I'm having a Vino Verde today. This is a white Portugal. It's lovely. It's got a little bubbles. I don't know if you can see that. It has a citrus and a lemon undertone, but today's not a wine conversation. But I just wanted to share that because I know people are always wondering, what are you drinking? And so I'm having a Vino Verde today. If you are new to the channel, let me say welcome. I'm so glad that the algorithm brought you here. Please consider subscribing. It'd be great. It will send other folks into this space who are similar to yourselves. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. And you can have multiple subscriptions. I have a ton of subscriptions to a number of YouTubers that I like to follow. And if you are returning, I just want to say thank you for coming back. Thank you. Oh, so sorry. Thank you for coming back. I'm so glad to have you in this space, and thank you for journeying along with me. So, we often talk about being kind to others, but what about being kind to ourselves? And so this has come up for me because as I'm trying to get myself in motion and trying to get moving, I have to keep saying to myself, Davia, you give yourself some grace. And so I am defining grace as having compassion for myself, having some patience with myself, and also giving myself the permission to grow. Even though it feels like I'm standing still, I know that there is some growth in this transition happening. And so I'm defining grace in this way. I'm sure you all have your own definition of it, but this is the way in which I am talking about it for today. I will just say that the reason this is coming up is that I need to offer myself grace when I am not being as productive as I'm usually. I want to get a lot of things done, and I also need to sit on the couch and just kind of rest a little bit. And so it's different to me than self indulgence or avoidance. It's not exactly the same. Um, Grace when you're making some mistakes, clearly, grace when you're in transition. But it's not, to me, it's not the same as um, avoiding. I know that there are things that I need to do, but I also know that there's reasons behind the why I'm not in motion. And so today I want to just share um, what it means to have grace for yourself and some just ways in which I'm kind of helping myself. I'm talking myself through this, um, and I hope you gain something from it. Why do we struggle with self grace? Why is it that we're having a hard time, or I am having a hard time allowing myself some grace? I think for at least two reasons. One, there's this inner critic that says you can do more and you should be doing more. And I know a lot of that comes from cultural, generational voices that say, come on, girl, let's go. Come on, girl, let's hustle. Come on, girl, let's move. And I know that in this age and season that I am, that's really not working for me. I don't think it's ever worked for anyone. I think we have been conditioned to believe that we need to be in motion all the time. And so I think one of the reasons we struggle is because of that inner critic, and that voice. And that voice can be really nasty, and we need to tone her down. I also think there's this internalized pressure to be, I don't want to say to be perfect, but to be on top of things, especially for women, especially for caregivers, mommies, high achievers, um, hard workers, wherever we are, type A's. There's this way in which we have this internalized pressure that we got to show up, we got to do. And sometimes that doesn't allow for you to have grace for yourself. So I'm saying boo to all of that. And I'm saying no to all of that at this point. Okay, I am going to run through some ways that we can practice giving grace to ourselves. And these are things that I am working on and I hope will be useful to you. So the first one is to check your self talk. We already know what that's like. We already know that there are times when we say to ourselves, girl, you know you could be doing more. Girl, you need to get up. And it's not healthy. It really isn't. And it's not kind. And when you're tired, you really need to just check yourself and say, I need you to be quiet. And I need to be able to sit here and be okay. So, the first thing we need to do to practice giving ourselves grace is to check our self talk. My husband has a look like a little chalkboard, and it says, "Be careful who and what you tell yourself you are." And that is a message that he purports to the family all the time, because when you say you can't do a thing, or when you say you're not good enough, or when you are giving yourself all that talk, you can really believe that. So I really think that the biggest way to give yourself grace is to definitely check your self talk. The next thing is to set realistic expectations. I am very guilty of trying to do 5 things in 2 hours. If I do not have enough time, I cannot continue to pile on things on the list. See if I can do this, then I'm going to try this, then I'm going to do that. No, no. Gotta be realistic. I'm going to do 2 things today, and I'm going to do 2 things tomorrow. And maybe I ain't going to do nothing on the third day. I'm just going to sit. So we really need to set realistic expectations and realize that it is progress over perfection. Progress over perfection. Okay. Next, celebrate the tiny wins. Yes, we can practice giving ourselves grace if we say, okay, today I am going to get this closet done. I'm going to look at it, I'm going to sort it, and I'm going to make some decisions about it. Hey, that's movement, that's progress, and I need to celebrate. Do I get to sit down? Sure, if I need to. Do I get to give myself, I don't know, another glass of wine? Hell, if I want to, why not? The truth of the matter is, we just need to celebrate the movement. So, whatever tiny win you make it, be excited about it, and let it go. All right. This is the one that is super hard for me. I've talked about this um, in other episodes. Allowing myself to rest without guilt. I really wish I could be more like my daughter. She could lay and relax, I would say, for a whole day if allowed to. I don't have that in me, but I need to. So I'm going to allow myself to rest without guilt. And that will be one way of me practicing how to give myself grace. And then finally, I want us to pause and breathe. And if you've made it to the end of this video, I'd love for you to take one deep breath, hold it, and then breathe. We are not doing enough of pausing and breathing. We are not letting ourselves just breathe. And that is one of the biggest ways we can offer ourselves grace. So I hope some of these will help you. I am practicing, and I'm sure in an upcoming episode, I'm going to be in motion and I'm going to be able to tell you about being in motion. I'm going to be able to talk to you about I have a few upcoming episodes that I think are going to be really interesting, especially if you are planning a move abroad. And if you are not, you can just learn something about this journey that I'm on. And so allow yourself some grace. And I would love to hear from you all. How are you offering yourself grace? And if you are not, think about any one of these strategies and let me know. Drop in the comment if any of this resonates for you. Okay? And I would just like to say, cheers. And remember not to do all of the things. Give ourselves some grace. Please think about subscribing. Please comment. Please like. And please share this with a sister or someone who you think could use this message. I hope it is useful to you. It's definitely useful to me. All right. Take care. Cheers again. Bye.